Welcome to the B word. This is something that you never heard. We'll give you real type of fantasy. Pick up your phone and just chat with me.
Yo, it's me. They call me B. I love to talk, but not for free. About some clothes, about some D. Go grab your drink and have a seat. Press that like and hit that share, cause I'ma take you anywhere. This my story, watch and see. Now come enjoy this ride with me. Hey.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the B word. Thanks for joining me. Poolside. I'm away for work again. So yeah, we're on location today. Pardon my voice. If I sound a little weird, I was doing a little extra drinking last night. I wanted to talk about being a safe space for my partner whenever he comes along. But I saw something online and it said black men will I'm good themselves into depression. And I posted it on Facebook, and a lot of the guys responded like it's hard for them to kind of turn off their programming because they've been programmed and raised since they were little to be like, you know, men don't cry, boys don't cry, don't show your emotions, and blah, blah, blah. And then some of them also said like when they have in the past shown their emotions to women, you know, it wasn't received well. So I'm like, dang. And it made me think like, have I myself been a safe space for the men in my relationships? Like, have I made them secure? Have I made them feel safe? Have I made them feel confident with me in order to share any emotions with me? Any hard emotions. I mean, I've received anger from men, but you know, when it really comes down to like I'm having a bad day, or I'm battling this, or I'm really depressed because I don't have such and such, or I miss my dead parent, or whatever the case, you know, have I given them a safe space in order for them to communicate to me? And I think I have. I mean, I think I have. But I know definitely moving forward, like that's something that I want to pay very close attention to. Because like, and now that I think about it, I had an ex and I don't even know what we were talking about because it was a long time ago. But it was probably within the first year of us dating. And I remember us laying on his couch. And I was like sitting up and he was like laying back on me. And whatever we was talking about, I thought he was crying. I'm pretty sure he was crying. But it kind of goes back to what those guys were saying. Like, they've just been programmed. And shoot, looking back, like, with guys being programmed that way, it's so unfamiliar. It's so rare for us to see men crying. So I know that in that moment, I was like, because I didn't know what to do, you know. I mean, other than hold him, I mean, which I was already doing. So it's just like, but I felt like I didn't do a good job in receiving him crying because I definitely didn't ask, like, well, what's going on? What are these emotions that you're feeling right now? What's making you cry? Like, let's work it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk through it. Like, I always tell my son, I never tell him, like, don't cry. Don't be a crybaby, you know, whatever. I never tell him that. I always try to get him to communicate why he's crying, like, why he's feeling that way. Like, tell me why you're crying. Like, oh, well, such and such hurt my feelings because she took, you know, the brown crayon. Whatever the case, I need you to be able to communicate that to me. So I guess in that moment with my ex, I didn't do a good job of that. I didn't give him a safe space. Definitely not even enough to even reveal that he was crying. Because like I said, I couldn't really tell, you know, not his back was toward me, but the way he was laying, you know, I wasn't necessarily staring in his face. But, you know, so I didn't. And I I want to make sure that moving forward in the relationships that I do have in the future, that I create a safe space. Even for my male friends, I want them to be able to feel secure with me and feel, excuse me, safe enough with me in order to express those hard feelings. Because I also feel like, because a lot of guys are like, oh, that's just how we were raised and it's hard to turn that around. But you know, I just feel like at a certain point as adults, you have to take ownership and accountability for your own life. You have to develop your own morals, your own values, and how you're gonna move forward in life. Just like, you know, our parents raised us a certain way, and you decide to maybe take some of their ways and take your own ways and raise your children the way you see fit. So it's just like, you know, you make adjustments in all aspects of life, in work, in your relationships, wherever. We have to make adjustments as adults. And I'm going to post a link to this podcast, but I watched it the other day. It was called, it's the Dear Future Wifey podcast. But this guy, Jay Barnett, was on there. He was just discussing how it was hard for him to express himself in relationships. And it was really good. It's long, but it's good. It's a good watch, good listen, however you choose to do it. But it's on YouTube. I'll post it in the description. But it was enlightening. He was kind of saying the same thing, like, you know, as far as men healing and going through their healing process, like, it's hard for them. So I have 3 brothers. I want to make sure that I'm creating a safe space for them also. And, you know, I never want anyone to feel like they can't communicate or they can't express, you know, those hard truths to me. I feel like, you know, I'm very expressive with my friends, even with my siblings. We're very open, and I never want anyone to feel like they can't be open with me. What was my other point? Oh, and so I don't know if y'all watch Married at First Sight, but this season, basically the premise of the show is they marry a stranger. So this particular season, at the honeymoon, one of the couples, the guy expressed to his wife on their honeymoon, they went to like Mexico or something, that he battled clinical depression. And like her response was like, oh, she said something in the confessional like, dang, like he's telling me about, like, you know, that's deep, like he's telling me about his clinical depression, and that's really deep and that's heavy. And, you know, for a man to be that emotional, like, I'm used to a masculine man. It's just like, girl, it's just like, and this is why men have so many problems opening up to us, because, you know, I mean, that is heavy. However, you guys are married, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life with this person. And I feel like it's important to disclose something like that, because that's a lot to deal with. Like, how are you when you're going through this? How are you when you're not on your medication? Do you take medication? Like, that's a lot to process. So I don't want to say it's a deal breaker, but for some people, they may not be able to they may not be able to deal with that. So I think it's important that he revealed that to her, because that may not be something that she can handle. But the way this is like, this man is expressing himself to you about how he's battled depression in the past, and you take it like that's not masculine. Like, dang, like, you can be a man, you can be the most manliest man and still be depressed. And that's what I don't want. Like, I don't want that in my future relationships. I don't want a man to, like, you know, reveal himself to me, especially something so deep like that. Like, oh, I'm battling depression. Like, oh my, let me love on you. Like, I want him to feel safe with me, especially if he has come to a point where he feels safe enough to even reveal something like that to me. So I want him to continue on that journey. I want to receive that. I want to be able to receive that. I want to be able to hear that and then also process that. And then we talk through it. We communicate through it. And I give him, that space. I just think it's really important for us to, be that vessel for them. I'm not saying that, you have to be your man's therapist. I mean, but in a sense, you could be. You could be the only person that he talks to. You could be the only person that he feels comfortable talking to. And if you are, then you got to be that. Maybe you're his only outlet. And what's so bad about that? So I'm making strides to make sure that I'm mindful of that, so that the next time, a man is laying on my lap and he starts crying, I can communicate that with him. I can console him better. I can, be there for him in that space. Because I never want, a man that I'm involved with, or even, like I said, even a friend to, feel like they can't be safe, or they can't, open up to me, not from me, to me. That was a little heavy, but it was on my heart, and I really am making strides to be a better B, like in all aspects. Just trying to work on me. That's why I'm taking this whole year of self-reflection. I'm just really focusing on me and how to be a better me, the best me that I can be. So, like my page, y'all. Share my page. Continue to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll see y'all next time.
This has been a